then I kind of realized she's looking at my dick a little bit, and then back at my beard, and back at my dick. And I'm like, wow, she's really trying to figure out which one of the two has grown more since she saw me last. The answer is neither. I want to do a very special thank you to you guys. It's been great. I appreciate that you guys have paid $270 to sit in on my therapy. I've learned something from all of you. Joe, I've learned that anyone can do anything. Hannah, I've learned the importance of keeping your butthole clean. Carter, I realized that you can still be sexy in high school. And David, I realized that if you look a little bit like Michael Fassbender, it's okay to be a little racist. I think I got one more joke here. I'm trying to think of it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Gotta bring it back here. I hope you guys remember me as someone besides the guy who said he was white and didn't know that Crown and Crows sang Mr. Jones. Thank you guys, that's all I got.
All right, one more time for Aaron, everybody. All right, we're gonna keep this show rolling along. Next community coming to stage, a big old drink of water from Texas. Make some noise right now for Brian.
Should we start off on a light note or more of like a sad, introspective? I'll go with like more of a bittersweet one. Because there are times when I think, God, like, the world is such a dark, lonely place. Life is infinitely long and infinitely short at the same time. I just think, wow, this is so bad. Sometimes I just can't stop thinking about it. And then other times, I'm asleep. But no, I'm actually in a really good mood. I have one, possibly more sons on the way that are being filled out in the fertility clinic right now as we speak. So I want to give you some musings on family, some things that I've kind of picked up over the years. And I want to start with a story about my girlfriend's grandfather who came to live with us a couple years back. He was from Mexico, and he lived in this village with like no electricity, no plumbing. And his kids had come to the United States, and they were trying to move him back, and he just wanted to stay. Finally, his wife died, and he was getting older, and he needed help, so they brought him over to the United States, and he stayed with us right when he got here. And it was great how quickly he assimilated and learned to do everything. We were really worried, but like every morning we wake up, and he'd have coffee ready for us. I was like, holy shit, this guy, he's never even seen plumbing before. How does he know how to make coffee? And finally, one morning there's no coffee, and he's standing outside the bathroom, really angry, saying, "Hey, who shit in the well?" Yeah. We saw a pile of poop in the backyard. He didn't quite get it. Family, am I right? I just think I want to clone myself 3 times. Another really heartwarming kind of family story. I grew up in Texas. Sports are really big there, and I played Little League baseball. And there was this kid on my team, Peter Wrestler. And his dad was just kind of hard on him. And Peter wasn't that good, and after one game, they were walking back to his car, and they passed the concession stand, and Peter's like, "Hey, Dad, can I have a hot dog?" And his dad's like, "Peter, do you think you played well enough to deserve a hot dog?" Sports are serious in Texas. They take it real seriously. Men play sports, boys play sports, girls go to school. And my parents are kind of like liberal northern kind of people, and they're like, "Brian, it's not quite that simple, all right? Boys do math and science, girls do art and music. That's how it's supposed to be." The guy who coached high school football and baseball in my high school was a complete maniac, and he would just kind of lose his shit over like a 14-year-old boy missing up a ground ball. It's like, wow, what is your life like if you have to freak out and get that angry over like the smallest thing? And there's actually no joke there. I'm just kind of going around the country trying to turn people against him. From the baseball team, what a dick. I had an office in the locker room, and not just like in the locker room, like in the shower. And there was a big window so that you could look in and watch the boy shower. And I know this because, well, he watched me shower, but also it was up for debate, like whether the school had a little extra money. They were going to either renovate the science lab, which was just a trailer, or put some money into sports, like renovate the locker room, that kind of thing. And my dad's like, science is kind of important, maybe we should renovate the science lab. And then some redneck gets up there at the town hall meeting, he's like, It ain't just about sports. We are preparing these boys for manhood. We are preparing them to open doors for ladies and then pay them less for doing the same work as men. We are here to teach them that salad is for pussies and that you should vote against your economic self-interest because it's better to have a statue of Robert E. Lee in your town than free health care. Now, I don't know what this has to do with the coach being able to watch a shower, but that's and nevertheless, I've grown to appreciate science, and in fact, all of my sons are science babies, thawing out as we speak, and I can't wait till they're born, and I'm gonna look at my little melted ice children, puddles at their feet, and they're gonna ask me about the meaning of life, and say, "Is there a God, Dad?" I say, "Absolutely, there's a God. Look at you. You're living proof of science." And they're going to say, "Well, what does God tell us? How are we supposed to behave?" And I'm going to tell them, there's only one passage in the Bible that you need to know, and that's Deuteronomy chapter 12, verses 11 and 13. If two men are fighting, and the woman, the wife of one of them, intercedes for her husband by grabbing the genitals of his enemy, you shall cut off her hands. Show her no pity. And my sons, the 8 little icemen, they would look at me and they say, "Well, Dad, what if 2 women are fighting? And a man grabs the genitals of the woman?" And I'll say, "Son, then you become president of the United States." Thank you very much.
One more time for Brian, everybody. Hand that off to Brian over there. All right. Yeah, what was going on in Deuteronomy's life, huh? That's so weird. What's up with that guy? I do wonder if there was anything ever in the Bible when they were all, turning in their homework assignments with like, "Here's mine," and they were like, "Yeah, this is too big for the Bible. We're gonna have to say no." All right, one more time for Brian, everybody. All right, next time to come to the stage, she, her normal job is to stand in, but now she's a wonderful stand-up. You're gonna love her. Make a whole lot of noise right now for Jennifer.
Stand-up. Finally a virgin again. So let's accomplish Cherry. All my life I have been a really big dork, and I don't mean a penis. That would be a step up. For an example, back freshman year in high school, I was in the lunchroom, and I went and got myself a Hostess cherry pie. And I was oblivious to how I was going to eat that pie and how I was going to eat the pie. So I open it up and I bite off the end of it, and I lick one cherry at a time. So juicy, so tasty, and oh so good. As I'm eating this delicious cherry pie, I'm walking across the lunchroom over to the senior section where I see my cousin. As I'm having a conversation with her, I notice all the teenage boys staring at me. But again, I ignore them and I continue to eat my cherry pie. One cherry at a time. I did finally finish. Now, a few months later, I was in health class, and I finally learned what I was doing with that cherry pie, and I realized how disgusting I was. That was so gross. Ew! And I also realized what a boner was. So all those high school teenage boys sitting there staring at me while I'm eating this succulent cherry pie couldn't get up from the table because they all had boners. Also, I am now a preschool teacher. How's that a difference? I was looking around the school recently, and I noticed all these big black boxes around the building, and mostly in the bathrooms. And on the front of them, it says Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear means we always refer be bad. So bad person in the building, violent, probably going to hurt somebody. So my boss said, well, they're in the bathroom, so we can lock ourselves in the bathroom. Well, what's in there? Let's open it up and see. There is 2 flashlights, a hammer, and a razor blade. So I asked his teacher, what's this for? Wait, I got it. You shut off the lights to the school, you use the flashlights to find the bad guy, you hit him over the head with a hammer, and you slit his throat. Yes, I saved the day. Then I go to my boss and I tell her this. And she says, there's also supposed to be food in the box. Oh, what's more comforting after you kill a guy to have a good snack afterwards? How rewarding is that? Or if you're locked in the bathroom while the guy is shooting up the school, to be able to sit down and have a meal. I'll pass. I'll be in the corner shitting myself in the fetal position. And growing up, my dad always hated the word fart. It was like saying fuck. He always liked to say pass gas. And the teacher I was the assistant for, she hated the word pass gas and fart, so she called it fluff. And so while I was on set a few months back, I let one rip. And I'm like, oops, I let out a little fluff, I'm a little fluffer. And my friend walks over to me and she goes, Jennifer, do you know what a fluffer is? And I was like, yeah, it's me, I just let one go, you might want to move because it really smells in here right now. She goes, no, Jennifer, a fluffer is someone that keeps the man hard in between takes on a porn. And I'm like, oh my God! I call my students little flippers when they flirt! Are you kidding me? I didn't know that. Somebody didn't tell me that a heck of a lot sooner. Did anybody hear you call the children a fluffer, like the parents or anything? I don't know. I didn't even know what it was until you told me. Oh my goodness, never call a child a fluffer. Don't call anybody a fluffer unless they're a fluffer. That's my time.
Alright, keeping those laughs hard. That's Jennifer right there. Next comedian coming to stage, one of Spain's greatest exports. You know him, you love him. Let's hope it's not too cold in here for the fantastic David!
Yeah. I took the mic to tell you, to confess you something really personal for me. I haven't told my parents yet. I am a foreigner. Yeah, you haven't probably noticed that because of my perfect American accent. But that is what it is. I'm a foreigner. I mean, I'm also gay, but that's not that personal, you know? No, seriously. I'm David. I have a sexy accent. And I'm from Spain. I mean, you know, the siesta country. I arrived like 4 days ago here in Chicago. Chicago. The windy city. And the sunny city. And the cloudy city. And the rainy city. And the windy city. And then rainy. And then back windy. Anyway, Chicago, yeah. I love this place. I love this place. I love everything here. I love the buildings. I love the lake. I love the restaurants. I love Boys Town. Boys Town. Everyone there is so funny, so naked, so dancing all around. Yeah, I love this place. Actually, as you can see, I'm a really intended to love person. You know what I mean? Actually, when I see 2 blue eyes before I kill guy, I fall in love. That happened to me yesterday when I went into a gym to take a look. I opened the door and I saw him. A huge blue-eyed guy. I was about to run away and he said, "Hello, do you need any help?" And I answered, "Yes, I do." 10 seconds later, he got my heart and my credit card to become a member. In 3 days here, I have bought 2 Bibles, a Book of Mormons, a Spanish dictionary, but that's still big. And I paid to become a member of 2 teams, 3 CrossFit boxes, the Ocular Nutrition Society, and also the OBS. the organization of black students at the University of Stanford. So there is another little thing that you should know of me. As far as I know, I'm not black. As far as I know. Yeah. No, seriously, it's really, really expensive to be so romantic here in the States. It's really, really expensive. I don't want to become like that. I want to stay manly, you sweetie pies. That's what I say. That's what I say on my Grindr profile. Oh, sorry, do you know what Grindr is? For them who know, Grindr is the mobile app that the gay people use to fuck to meet all the gay people. On the Grindr profile, you have to write the most important information that you have to know in advance about a guy to meet him: his age, his role, that is his top or bottom, and his dick size. But it's actually funny, because from the very beginning I've been thinking to myself, you guys got such a small dicks here. And then I realized, oh, you use inches, I use centimeters. Yeah, it was like, now I have to use at the same time the grinder and the calculator. It's so uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. I want to stay as a macho. You know what I mean? I want to stay as a macho because the gay guys love these type of guys. But sometimes these little Bridget Jones inside me comes out and buys stuff. Dressed all white with a wedding bouquet. Sorry, I was casually mates. Anyway, yeah, and here I want to stay as a macho, but actually I think sometimes that we're living in a kind of disappointing society. So I think myself, how sweet it is to keep being able to fall in love so easy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've been here for 3 days, 4 days actually, and I felt in love like 9 times a day. Yeah, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. One more time for David. David, that American accent. Fantastic. That was great. All right, you guys, we've got just a couple more comedians left to go, but I think you're going to love them all the same. Are you ready for some more comedy? Make some noise. Next comedian come on the stage. You know you love him. He's a little comedy whiz. Make a whole lot of noise right now for Carter.
Hey everybody. You may have seen me from my work as the poster boy for a Christian engineering camp. That was kind of my big break. I took an Uber here this morning, and I got in, and he goes, "Second City?" And I was like, "Yeah." He keeps looking at me in the mirror, which I thought was weird. And he goes, "Seems a little early for Second City." And I go, "Oh, I take some classes there." And he goes, "Oh, that must be hard for you." And I said, "Why is that?" And he goes, "Because you don't seem funny." And that was the first time I'd ever hit 1 star before I left the car before. I was in a gas station the other day getting some sushi, and I was going back to the seafood aisle, and this guy runs in, and he comes up to the cashier, and he goes, "You gotta fix my phone, you gotta fix my phone." And he goes, "No, I can't, this is a gas station." And so I'm going back, I got my sushi, I'm waiting in line, and he's still insisting that he fixes his phone. And then finally the guy goes, "It's a marathon, not a sprint." That's a joke for runners. My girlfriend last week, she asked me to do something to her that she couldn't do to herself. So I licked her elbow. Now I'm single. I have really bad luck with women. My last girlfriend cheated on me. I walked in on her in my bedroom having sex with another guy, so I broke up with her, and now I refuse to talk to my dad. I also slept with my teacher, which is a horrible idea for so many reasons, but afterwards, we were eating that post-sex apple, and I asked her, I said, was it good for you too? And she didn't answer because I didn't raise my hand. Have any of you ever used the glory hole at the library? You know, it's like the rectangle, the one about the size of a book. Yeah, I used that. She was not a sexy librarian. I pulled that trick at the post office, and then she just licked it and put a stamp on it. Now my dick's in Antarctica. So that's cool. In Germany, I was watching the news, and they said in Germany, a white woman just completed her transition into a black woman, which seems like a lot of trouble to go through just to say the N-word. Because everyone knows you just use a Spanish accent and you can get away with anything. I do like Boy Scout patches. That's something about me. I don't like them. I just hate the sound they make when they go through the wood chipper. That's a joke about killing Boy Scouts. But at least those trash bags finally came in handy. Because they sell trash bags. Oh, you can learn a lot about yourself by traveling. Like one thing I learned from coming to Chicago is that I have the kind of face that makes people, you know, think I have free money. That's what I learned my first time. Let's see, last but not least, I have a little ditty. It's been climbing up the charts recently, you may know it. It's called the Racism Song. Don't. Thank you, everybody.
For the young Carter, everybody. You may say that word one time, David, and it just never let it go. All right. Are you ready for your final comedian of the evening/afternoon/class? Make some noise right now. He's been eagerly waiting to come up here. Keep it going for Matt.
Thank you very much. A lot of peanut allergy signs out there. But we're going to go into a slightly more controversial subject that we've been going with there recently in the news. There's been a lot of talk of gender and spectrum, how much of it is a social construct. And that's led to some difficult conversations for people to have about kind of government laws, regulations, and safety issues that could come into play. And as a straight, white, average height, average weight, Christian, suburban, real suburban, Budweiser drinking, you could probably guess the type of cigarette I would smoke if I smoked. Male. I feel like I can shed some light on the conversation. I don't have an in-unit bathroom. So, to make up for that, I go across the street to the gym to shower in the mornings, which helps me save on soap in the mornings. I don't have to pay for soap anymore. And I also have become a bit of a whiz on the inner workings of the public restroom facility mile rule. And when you're at the gym, there's always these rules and regulations about being able to flirt with people when you're in the gym. And I always have difficulty in such situations where if they were playing Marvin Gaye at some point on a bed, I probably wouldn't quite get the hint. And when you're actually in the male locker room, it doesn't always work as well. It doesn't work as well. Where you might be able to get a few, where. All right. So as long as you find an old man to meet you, and next to you, a naked old man, when he's with you, and you pick him up early, he'll take care of you. Don't worry. So just don't worry with that. And as I have moved on into the locker room and become more accustomed to it, I've only been approached a few times, and I haven't had too much difficulty or worries about that. Where I've only gotten a few phone numbers and had one special shower surprise encounter where I ended up being okay. So, I can tell you, the worst case scenario in these type of situations, you'll be okay. However, I've also been trained in these type of situations before, where over a few years back, I used to live in Milwaukee, and I went to a bar, and at the bar, I got to the point of inebriation where I felt that my pants were getting a little bit too heavy, so I decided to lighten the load by throwing my wallet away. I'm not sure if you all got to that point before. I'm sure we all have, but when I left the bar, I decided that maybe I should try and get my wallet back, and the man at the front wouldn't quite let me in as much. So when the man wouldn't let me in, I got all upset and I just started walking. And when I started walking, I ended up walking about 2 hours in the wrong direction. I was about 2 miles away from my apartment, and about 2 hours later, I just kind of came to the realization I'm not quite where I should be. So I got approached by a man on a bike. He looked quite like a less threatening John Leguizamo. and as he approaches me, I finally have a friend, someone to tell my conversation about this guy in the front that wouldn't let me back in the bar. I'm not sure if I hated a man quite as much as that I think his name was CJ or something like that. And he wouldn't let me quite through in there. And he went on and he really comforted me for a while. It was about 10, 20 minutes or whatever a drunken gauge you want to go with. And at the end of the conversation, he offers me a proposal. And it was either, I can't remember quite what the transaction was. No matter what, I was getting money, positive, because I just lost my wallet. And he was either offering me oral sex or I was getting oral sex. But either way, I was getting some money out of it. I politely declined, and then he left me all on my own. I thought I had lost a friend all there. And so I guess I don't have too much luck there, but I did have a little bit of luck later. As I reached the top of the hill, I met another man. And what did the man say to me? He says, "Hey, friend, if you pay me X amount of dollars or so," and obviously I didn't have any money, "I will give you these oral fellatio and whatnot." And I came and I said, "No, I don't have any money, and I'm not interested in such an event. But I do know a man quite down the corner that just passed you, and if you meet up with him, you'll have a good time." However, what was that? Anyways, it took me about eight hours or so to get home from that night. I saw it got to the point where I saw a policeman and a robber actually in a chase, or not in a chase. He was booking them, and they looked back at me, kind of laughed at me. And I don't know where the worst part of Milwaukee is, but I know I was there that night at least some point. And you can either attribute it to the fact that Milwaukee's not quite Chicago. Like they always say, it's a little Chicago. Well, I don't think that would really happen in Chicago. You'd be able to survive such a situation. Or you could attribute to the fact that if I were to smoke, I'd probably smoke Marlboro-Reds.
Fellatio, my favorite Italian clown of them all. All right. Thank you, two of you guys for laughing at that one. I appreciate it. All right, that has been the performance segment of the class here. Make some noise for everybody that you saw here tonight. All right. How did it feel for everybody up here? How did it feel? Good. It was good. I saw some new stuff. I saw some old stuff. I saw everything in between. That was very good. I liked what I saw. That's what doing stand-up is. It's just coming up here and telling some jokes. All right, it's that easy. I don't know if this was harder or easier than anyone thought. Anybody have any thoughts about coming into it versus the end? No? Okay.
I feel more comfortable.
Feel more comfortable?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good. All right, it is 2:43 right now. What we're going to do is this. I'm going to head back upstairs. If anybody wants any one-on-one notes or anything like that, come on upstairs and join me. If not, if you're done, if you're good to go, you're more than welcome to leave. I want to thank you for a very fun week of stand-up immersion. Once again, give yourselves a round of applause. Woo! All right. So again, I'll be upstairs at about 3 o'clock, and then upstairs in the old room.
Downstairs.
Downstairs. You know what I mean, okay?
Oh, is there a rooftop?
Yeah, it's a the secret spot for only performers. Yeah, I will be downstairs in our old clothes. Okay, yeah, and we'll just kind of, you guys want to hang outside? Come on in. We can do a little. Why don't I give you a little tip or two along the way? Otherwise, if you take off, thank you very much. This has been very fun, for real. This was my first immersion class. Normally I just teach weekly, and I liked it a lot. I like seeing everybody grow. And from Monday to today, I see a lot of improvements. So thank you very much. I'll hopefully see you upstairs. If not, have a great life.